Hello and good morning. I welcome you to the morning meeting today on Tuesday, the 17th of April 2018. This is Jens Klatt speaking and exclusively presenting this format to you here for JFD Brokers. So we want to have a look at the markets and how things are going. So the DAX is quite stable. Right now about to attack the level around 12,500 points again. So yesterday when I had a look at the technical side here on the hourly chart, I was in fact positive about the DAX after I saw that there is a solid attempt to stabilize around 12,400 points. And in fact, so in the morning we came in slightly weaker. So in fact we came in stronger than compared to the close yesterday at 8 p.m. GMT, but drifted a little lower. So have a look here. So this is where we started the day, and then drifted lower, closed this untrue gap, and then took off from there. And if you look at the hourly chart, you can clearly see that this is a very solid stabilization again around this level. The highs here around 12,400 points. These are the highs from last week on Tuesday. By the way, this is the hourly chart. So there's a stabilization around this level, and then the DAX taking off from there. Nevertheless, currently having some trouble to make it up to 12,500 points. I mean, we still have several hours ahead of us here, and there's still a chance that there will be another attempt on the upside. Nevertheless, currently the DAX somehow makes an interesting impression on me. So I somehow feel that there is something going on in the background. So somehow I have doubts whether DAX can really take off and push towards 12,600 points, respectively above 12,520, 12,530 first, and then making it up to 12,600 points. So in the morning, there was data coming out from China, which is quite solid numbers around the GDP, which came in as expected, but not quarter on quarter. Quarter on quarter, the numbers came in slightly below expectation, giving some doubts that there is probably some fear brewing that the potential trade war between the US and China could escalate. And with this in mind, there's, I think, on top of the geopolitical tensions here in Syria and between the US and Russia, there's some doubts out there whether we can really stabilize and see the aggressive attempt here on the upside. So that's something which is going through my mind all the time. Nevertheless, when carefully watching here at the performance in the DAX so far, it's not necessary to have these doubts. So since so far everything above 12,250 points should be considered bullish, and with some potential on the upside up to 12,600 points, probably higher than that. So remember, there's the small expiration on Friday here at the Eurex and the DAX, and so there could be some kind of short squeeze if the market now takes off from here, makes it back above 12,500 points. Let's just wait and see. So far, picture looks fine, and as long as we trade stabilize above 12,400 points, I think there is a higher chance to see a squeeze on the upside than to see a brutal collapse on the downside. And this said, this mainly depends on how things develop, especially around Syria. Especially if the situation escalates there, then sure, we have potential for a big risk aversion coming into the markets, and the DAX could sell off. But right now, if things stay stable / if things stay calm, I think then there's definitely some advantage to be found on the upside. Let's just see here how things develop here against this level. This is intraday It's a relevant level now. The former highs before we made it then here to higher highs, 12,475 to 480. This is a potential long trigger. If we drop below 12,460, things are still okay as long as we can stabilize above the 50 exponential moving average here on a 5-minute time frame. Nevertheless, the moment we drop below that, it could be that the DAX then sees the advantage intraday on the short side, similar to what happened yesterday here. So have a look here. There's also this untrue gap which was closed. The market reacted bullish against this level and then just lost some momentum in the after hours then and sold off into the sold off. Okay, it lost some momentum then. Today the structure looks different than that because the market pushed to new intraday highs from here. That's nothing compared to what happened yesterday because there we weren't capable of making it to new highs. Nevertheless, let's see how the US markets present themselves in the afternoon then and what the DAX can deliver here. Let's have a look at the euro, also quite interesting. So here the euro is or first pushed towards 124 and slightly above that level, now losing some momentum here. It was already a move which was brought on its way here before the data around the ZEW came in, slightly below expectation. So now the market is trading back towards a level which can be considered a potential long trigger. That was something I mentioned in the German version of the morning meeting. I think we are long minimum as long as we trade above 2370, probably 2360. But no, the thing is, look at this, what I just did. This is nothing. This is only 10 pips, even though it looks quite volatile. And this is something which is perfectly illustrating that EURUSD is still not very attractive to trade here. In fact, if we can take on new momentum, make it above the highs, well, probably then the DAX, the EURUSD has some potential to bring us higher towards 124.80, 125. But all in all, the picture is neutral sideways and not really spectacular. This is different when looking at GBPUSD, but now GBPUSD is losing some of its momentum. So in the morning, we made it towards new yearly highs, as you can see here. Cable pushed above 143.70 and is now giving back those gains. That has mainly to do with the fact that the employment situation, the numbers around employment came in mixed, while the employment rate dropped to 4.2 compared to 4.3% expected. Numbers around wage growth came in, let's say, mixed, below expectation. So coming in around 2.8%, while 3% for the average weekly earnings were expected year on year. So numbers came in below expectation. The good thing is, nevertheless, that with 2.8%, it's outstripping inflation with only 2.7%. So that was the first time ever in over a year. And the thing is that this reaction now is very interesting, because now you might say, hey, isn't that potentially a good sign then for the UK economy? And isn't that a sign that probably the Bank of England is about to hike rates then as expected? Yeah, this is the thing. I think it depends mainly on the inflation data coming in tomorrow. If inflation stabilizes at 2.7%, I think then it could be that here this can definitely be seen as a positive sign, even if inflation comes in above expectation, 2.8 or 2.9%. The interesting thing here about this is that this nevertheless might force is a hard word, but probably motivate the Bank of England here to hike rates then. With this said, I mean, chances are high that this current drop here after this spike and potential buy the rumor sell the facts, because yeah, numbers around wage growth, they are okay. It's not that they are really bad, but they are okay. Nevertheless, they are not good enough to forthright this bullish momentum here and result in a sharp squeeze towards and above 144 currently, with now this corrective move aiming for probably 42.80, 43. This is, I think, a potential long trigger and a level against which I could imagine to take long positions, and against which, especially if inflation data comes in tomorrow as expected or slightly above expectation, where I could imagine then pound sterling to trigger long against this region and push back towards and probably above 144. Yeah, so that's it around pound sterling. Let's have a look here at dollar Japanese yen. Things haven't changed. We are currently trading around 107. That's no big deal at all. We are still neutral with a slight bullish stance as long as we trade above 106.60 to 106.70. The moment we are breaking below that level, that's, I think, a short-term bearish sign, which could then drive prices down towards 106 and below that level. That's it, in fact. So picture hasn't changed and isn't that spectacular around dollar Japanese yen here. Let's have a look at gold. Unfortunately, same thing here. So we still have a bullish touch connected to gold, and there's still the focus on 365. Which means that if we break above that level, that's a clear bullish break. Nevertheless, currently we're trading below that and should consider the whole picture in gold to be neutral. And that's it. So nothing more to add then. Let's just see what the US equity markets deliver in the afternoon, especially with focus on the DAX. Very interesting to see here. There's a clear slight bullish touch, drift higher, even though I somehow have a it's not a gut-wrenching feeling, but it's a feeling which is like I somehow don't see so much bullish momentum. The market's picking equity market's picking up that much bullish momentum. So there's a feeling which is like somehow I feel that there could build some pressure for whatever reason, and I'd be really careful if I'm too aggressively long here. So that doesn't necessarily mean that I don't take long positions. I mean, if I get a clear sign from my trading system, well, I take the long trade. Nevertheless, I probably intervene from a discretionary perspective and reduce position size a little, because again, it's somehow a feeling which is leaving me a little skeptical, let's say. Yeah, so that's it from my end. I wish you all the best. Happy trading. Watch your stops. Talk to you again tomorrow, Wednesday. Yeah, at 9:30 a.m. GMT. I definitely look forward to it. Wish you all the best. Take care. Talk to you tomorrow. I look forward to it. See you and bye-bye.